And welcome back to another episode of the Convoluted podcast. It's your host, Jesus, aka Tyrant Dominus, and today with me is Liz,
Hey, hey, hey.
and we have a brand new member joining us today, Connor.
Hey guys.
So, for anyone who's probably listened, Connor was actually on an episode of Reaction Cast, my other podcast, where we talked about the new Borat film.
Yeah, that was fun.
So if anyone wants to get to know Connor a little bit more, after this episode, you can go check out what our thoughts on the Borat 2 basically over there. But yeah, let's kind of get started with this episode because it's been an interesting past couple weeks. More recently, there was an article about a store that I used to work for, GameStop, and I was only part time there when I was doing it, and it was like, for me it was fun to work there since it was like video games and I enjoyed doing that, and I actually enjoyed working with the people there. It was kind of like hanging out at work, kind of, plus work. But after a certain amount of time, even though I was part-time, you could kind of see there was like the corporate stuff happening, and I was like, kind of don't want to be part of that. But the most recent article is a mix of like social media and debauchery, basically, and it's very, very stupid. And one of my friends, a former GameStop employee, could probably attest to how shitty this event happened. So the thing I'm bringing up is, GameStop recently put out a TikTok competition, and for prizes, things like a $100 Amazon gift card, um, like headset and stuff like that. But the most ridiculous thing that was on here was 10 extra labor hours to work on the Black Friday.
Do you really want to work 10 effing hours on Black Friday for GameStop? Just saying. I don't know. Not me.
So so during the time I was working there, they were very, very sticklers on hours and things like that. Like the bottom line, it was really bad. Like, there was, for all the managers there, it was like, you could see it in their faces. It was like, damn, I do not want to be in upper management in here. It's how bad it was there for these people.
I heard that they're like one of those companies that'll hire a bunch of people and give them just under 40 hours a week just for like money reasons. So they don't have
Yes.
to pay out certain benefits. So that's kind of like why they did this, but that still isn't a good reason.
Yeah, no, it's the way they're, I can only attest because I was only working part-time and I only got some information from these employees, but it was, their their management system was like serious garbage. I will say, like, their benefits weren't even that great either. Like, if I'm remembering correctly, one of my friends was working there for over 5 years still only like had 2 weeks vacation in total. Like,
Over 5 years?
yes, and uh, and they were still only awarded 2 weeks vacation total. And I was like, what?
You have a
That's
dedicated member of the of your chain working there, and that's all you can give them?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
absolutely wild.
it's crazy. And then throw in this contest, which they pulled like a couple days later because the internet went crazy. It's stupid. It's like forcefully making your employees like fight for working pay. Like, it's
It's just
ridiculous.
demeaning to the employee. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, no one wants to be treated like that.
Well, this is how corporate thinks about it. I mean, it doesn't matter which realm you're in. Corporate thinks you're expendable. So bye. Oh, we can replace you in no time.
Yeah. And that's the messed up mindset most of them have.
It
It
is,
is.
it is disappointing that for the most part, at the end of the day, for them, the people on the bottom are just numbers that can be replaced easily. And yeah, and that's kind of how larger companies see a lot of people. And yeah, it's very disappointing. And demeaning GameStop bad.
Very bad.
It's been bad for a while. This During the pandemic, they were really fighting hard. Even before the pandemic, their stocks were going down. It was not it was not already doing well, since video games alone are becoming very highly just digitized now. Like
Oh, say
everyone,
in the world of these like all these digital purchases, I don't see them lasting much longer either way. Like
no, I
It's
they're just
just
think
not
like
adapting
you
well.
think about it, just like, Blockbuster, Hollywood Video.
Exactly.
It's just kind of fading away. So
it's a matter of time when we'll see these places just be like just small locations. And
Does net does Netflix even do the CDs anymore, where you can like?
no,
I
I've
Yeah,
never
that's
heard a
yeah.
thing.
I
I
just
don't
say
think
when
so.
Chris.
Yeah, I
I
completely
think they
forgot.
got rid of that.
Yeah, that's yeah. I barely remember that.
I,
Damn.
it went.
Yeah.
It came and went. That's what happened.
Oh,
But it's
but
funny
yeah,
because like things like Redbox still thrive too.
true.
Well,
But
you think about all the low come people. They don't may not be able to afford that, but they can afford a couple, night of movies
Yeah,
with a
true.
couple bucks. So
Yeah, the way I see a red box is like you go out, because for the most part they're like in very heavy traffic areas, like a grocery store or fast food places. The way I see it, it's like you're out buying groceries or picking up some food, and you see the red box, like, oh, I'll enjoy a movie after grabbing lunch or preparing lunch, and then yeah, and then just bring it back to next
lunch,
shopping.
more like dinner.
You know what I mean.
Just saying for the person who's sleeping nights, working nights.
True. It's my breakfast. Your breakfast is my dinner.
Basically.
um. Ooh, but I want to kind of stay in the kind of grocery thing. There was an article that came out a little earlier in the month. And double check. No, actually, late October. Where Canadian Dry Ginger Ale was getting sued because of
I read that article. It made me face plant. I'm like, seriously, guys.
So, I'm gonna kind of paraphrase this a little bit, but there was a class action lawsuit launched by a British Columbia man who said that he was misled into believing that Canada Dry Ginger Ale has medical properties, and at the end it settled for $200,000.
So how is he convinced that it had medical properties? Because all the times as a kid when I was sick, I was given ginger ale to drink. Like if I had, a small flu, my parents would go pick up ginger ale and I drink it, whatever. But like, I never believed it actually had medicinal properties. It was just nice to have.
It's true. It's one of those like things, like it's like you can kind of say it's a placebo mental thing. But what the article stated was that let's see, his name was Victor. What it says here was that he spent years buying the sugary beverage for his family based on the label's promise that Canadian Dry is natural and made from real ginger. Because a lot of people say that ginger has a lot of healing properties. Anyone can correct me if they're
No,
wrong,
that's
No,
but
no, I think
correct. If
it's
you,
good for your digestion as well and all that.
yeah,
uh,
it's like, yeah, that's why you eat fermented ginger when you're eating sushi because you're killing some of that bacteria that you're eating. So it's got a lot of, but if you're actually eating ginger and drinking real ginger, you know, a beverage.
so here's the true. Here's the thing. Um, Now ginger ale is somewhat made from real ginger. The thing is, it's heavily diluted, and the ginger's like the oil from the ginger is like it's first squeezed out from the ginger, so it's basically the oil, and then every drop. I'm trying to see if I can find it in the article, but like every one drop is filled into like 1,500 cans, a single drop. So it's
Oh
like
gosh.
so it's a measly amount.
Just enough so they say it has real ginger, just like
Oh,
how Tic
oh,
Tacs will be like 0 grams of sugar, but that's because the Tic Tac is like less than a certain size, so they can literally say it's 0.
okay, so I'll clarify. It's not 1,500, but it sounds like a lot. One drop fills 70 cans,
But
which is
that's still,
still a lot.
yeah, I would say that still feels like they're doing the bare minimum to legally say it has ginger in it. Like,
Yeah, and but yeah, it's crazy. Like, it is interesting where we were. It was probably when early 2000s when everyone was really like getting to like checking labels like all natural, uh, gluten free, sugar free. What other things were there?
organic.
Low sodium.
Yeah, all this stuff. And when you actually like start looking into it, like made from real ginger, kind of, not really. Things like that. So the lawsuit kind of settled at him winning it, but to the point where they're still keeping the label. Like, they're not going to change the labeling at all, or the advertising. Uh, as far as
But
the
they can
United
no longer claim to be made from real ginger. They can. That's what they're
in
saying. They no longer claim to be.
In Canada, but in the United States, yes, they can. So
Okay.
Canadian courts, they cannot claim from real ginger. It's weird.
Okay. It is
It's
very weird.
But yeah, like, oh yeah, so it's interesting that this guy just like decided to sue a company just because of he's been using this
People just want to get money, quick, fast money. That's all it is. It really is.
that is I don't know what would you do if you were since you're kind of in the medical field, what would you do if you were like after you were giving your family, your child's mother, uh this like basically this product, saying that it was like helping them, to find out that it was just basically a placebo at that point? What How would you feel?
Feel distraught and angry and be like, okay, that wasn't worth my money. And then, you know, then go and look for another product that's better than that. That's usually what I turn around and do. 'Cause I read labels all the time, so I probably would have read the label before I, decide, gave it to my family too. So
But in another light, it's also good to catch these companies on their BS sometimes and take it to the next level so they don't do it again.
true, true.
But you're right. I mean, some people just want the quick buck, so look at it either way.
Yeah,
So
they don't want to read. That's the whole thing. For the label. Oh, it's not made from real ginger. What? I was deceived all this time. Yeah, it says it on the label. Where the ginger? It's literally towards the bottom of the can, and the ingredients. It's like you're not getting much.
true. So let's kind of staying kind of in the medical area as well. So for anyone who's listening, hopefully by the time this airs, the ballots have all been checked
Counted.
marked and everything. If it's not, wow, it's been a long time. But not talking about that catastrophe, let's kind of talk about some of the things that actually got passed, because some people that who recently like voted for the first time did not know that the ballots actually have other things besides voting for people. There are like measures and things like that. Like, yes, people, there's other reasons to vote besides voting for people. There are things that get taxed and things like that. And here in the state of Oregon, there was a few things that got taxed. Like there was a cigarette
Increase in the
tax.
cigarette, and it included the
There was
um.
was there a marijuana tax increase, or am I remember that? I don't have the
No,
proper.
no, you're probably misreading that, but they were basically using the taxes from the marijuana. So
Okay,
this
so
because
that's what that was.
they were putting they were basically it was under this one bill,
Okay.
and they were trying to get the taxing for the vaping,
Oh,
essentially
okay. So
going
that's what
after the
that was.
vapors and all that stuff. So they were trying to increase that, and so what they were doing, so it went from $1.50 to $2 for a pack of cigarette now. They increased it. So my brother was not happy about that, but I was like, whatever, maybe I'll get you to quit smoking, man.
Like I don't buy cigarettes, so sure, increase that tax. Hate me if you want. At me at the comments. But and a few other ones which were interesting was like kind of like not legalizing but like supervision with like magic mushrooms, things
Which I
like
think is
that.
great for people who
It's
are in
interesting.
pain.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting. But Oregon was not the only state that were kind of dealing with some of the things. Some other states were able to legalize marijuana, um, and decriminalize certain hard drugs, or not mostly all hard drugs. Correct? You guys can correct me if
Yeah,
I'm wrong.
most all hard drugs. Yeah, they were correcting that. They
Yeah.
were doing that to hopefully we can create more of a program and structure to help those people with addiction, essentially.
Mhm.
So for anyone, yeah, for anyone listening, to kind of clarify it to its like simplest terminology, basically if any person is caught with a hard drug like cocaine, heroin, meth in small amounts, they won't instantly be sent to jail for 5 to 10 years.
No, you're given a fine now, but if you even tell them that and like and sign up for addiction counseling and all that, you can actually get the fine waived as well.
Oh, I did not know that. So it's a way to help people like get better. But if you still have like a block of cocaine, you're going to jail for that
Yeah,
shit.
a dealer is something else, but if you're just in possession of a few hits of LSD or meth or whatever,
So
Yeah, I think it's more. It free up the prisons for the right people to be in jail. Just
yeah,
saying.
it's one of those things that it's that the legalization of marijuana helped, and like a lot of people who got caught with a reasonably small amount of weed ends up going to jail for a couple years, and there goes your life. It's hard to believe that when say you had a small baggie of weed and you end up in jail for 3 years, that's 3 years of your life lost just because of that one incident.
And that
So,
record too.
oh
And that
yeah,
record, and then trying to get a job. Can't barely
hmm
get one.
so it just seeing kind of the reaction actually on of the internet, kind of from because like I said, I said it in the most simplest way possible, but the way it's like worded for some people, it's like everyone's going crazy, like they're trying to legalize hard drugs. Like, no, people.
Oh yeah, all my friends out of state have been messaging me, asking me like where to get meth, and I'm like, bro, that's not how it's happening. But it's kind of funny.
There's a problem if they're asking for meth. You know that, right?
Oh, it's just a joke, but yeah.
I know, I'm teasing.
It's one of the things that yeah, like a lot of like people just need to understand. Like sometimes a person just needs help and not incarceration. Like you don't have to lock someone away if they just need some help. There are like certain times that or causes that it might need that, but at the end of the day, just kind of helping people is great, and I'm glad that some of the things are things. So that's why people vote. You know, like pay attention what you're saying, because sometimes it can be like it can help someone's life, or it can like screw over your taxes and you have to pay more if you're buying cigarettes.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And
it was go for it.
no, go for it.
No, it's just kind of my closing thoughts. It's like it's interesting just to see, and I'm glad uh we're seeing kind of some of these things out there.
I did read one more study. So when Denmark legal did the same thing, decriminalized most of their drugs, the use of it obviously skyrocketed. Everyone, okay, it's decriminalized. Everyone's going to be a little more willing to try it. But after a couple of years, it dropped down to like below when it was criminalized. So after a while, it's if the study's right and it's going to be like anything like Denmark, then overall drug usage will go down quite a bit after people have tried stuff.
Good. No, it's a good thing. I mean, I guess everybody has an experimental age, but I think that's a good thing that the studies are showing that once it did that.
Yeah, overall, it improved everything.
You know what? I suggest everyone just take a really bad trip, and you'll never do it again.
Oh no.
Oh no,
Just
I'm good.
just give them the worst experience possible on said drug. Then are you ever gonna do it again? Most likely, no. Exactly. That's my suggestion. Just give everyone bad trips.
So you're talking from experience.
I've actually never had a bad trip.
Oh, so you've been
So
on
you've
a
had a
trip.
trip, yeah.
Like,
Kind of got on.
I had my share of marijuana. It's enjoyable. Actually, I'm something to look forward for. We couldn't do it this year. It sucked because of the pandemic and kind of getting. We couldn't do our 420 special this year. It's kind of sad. But I did get to re-listen to last year, 2019's 420 episode. Still funny as fuck to re-listen to that because God, three really high people are really fun to listen to sometimes.
Depends on the people, but yes.
It
It was
depends on the people, exactly.
it was a fun group. Like for
good.
if anyone, it's a fun group. There were like a couple guests that we might get to have again in future episodes. But yeah, so yeah, it's something we'll see what we can plan for this 2021's 420 episode.
That is
It
if
would
COVID vaccine comes out. I'm ready. I'm hoping for it.
through next year. It's
Next year they're looking summer.
so yeah, that's something we can talk about that when it gets closer. That'll be interesting thing. But what else has been happening? Oh yeah, wasn't there an article about like murder hornets about this year? Let's stay in the 2020.
Okay, Craig.
Okay, Craig, let's
Don't leave.
don't leave us.
We
This is
need
the
you.
third time.
But yeah, kind of finishing up the whole scam thing. Just try to avoid just any of these like sleuth things. It kind of
I'm just glad
we
my
don't want.
phone service does this for me. They just automatically send into the straight to voicemail. They recognize it. Voicemail.
I don't receive a lot of phone calls at all. It's mostly all through either text or Discord. That's kind of the only way I contact people that's on my phone list from like 5 states over, you know?
Yeah.
It's actually I think I once talked to a phone scammer for a little bit just for fun, just to see. They were trying to give me like a 5 nights hotel in the Caribbean, and they needed like my bank account and everything, and I was like, sure.
Tickets
So I
first. Yeah.
and I it's like I spent I think a good half hour. I don't know how what's his name again?
Kiboga.
Pico. I don't know how he can handle 6+ hours stream, but
Getting paid for it. I mean,
uh,
how many people watch him? Like, it's a job at that point, but
at that point, yeah. But I can only act for so long, you
exactly.
know.
Yeah, no, he's good at it, what he does. Definitely worth checking out at least once if you haven't seen him.
Yeah, I would recommend it. I'll post if you know there's a specific YouTube video because that's kind of where I watch him if he's not if I don't watch him live. If you can find a good video that's worth send me the link and I'll post it below. I would recommend checking out this video that Connor's gonna pick out. I'm making him pick it.
Okay, yeah, I'll find one. No biggie.
What shitty people out there do to good people out there who just are, for the most part, a lot of people who get targeted are older people
Hmm.
that don't know any better.
He also, on an interesting note, he kind of shows that the scammers don't always, like, they're kind of in a bad situation too. Like, he's gotten some to quit their job as a scammer. Like, he's convinced them like what they're doing is like not right, and like they're like, yeah, it's better that I just quit or whatever. And
Damn, that's some power right there.
yeah,
Power right there.
exactly.
It's crazy. So yeah, try to avoid scam calls. Make sure you're not getting paid and paying people off in gift cards. If you want to pay us in gift cards, go right ahead.
Yes, I'll gladly take some.
I'll take
My
some
kid's
Amazon gift
expensive.
cards.
Oh gosh. I have one more thing on the topic of security before we get too far off of that point.
No, go for it. Yeah, go for it.
So Trump's Twitter password got hacked recently.
Oh,
Can you guess what it
damn.
was? It, it,
Make America great again. Was that his
it
password?
was MAGA 2020 exclamation mark.
Oh no, like I was joking.
Yeah, no, you're right. It was MAGA 2020 exclamation mark. And that was the second time the same guy hacked his password.
I was joking.
And you were right.
Oh,
You could have guessed it, bro. If you tried to log in as Trump, it just guessed MAGA 2020.
basically to come up with a number. You could have just told me guess a number and a special character. I would have gave you that
Yeah,
probably like
But like he didn't even have two-factor authentication on his
with
account either.
with some banking things that I had to deal with a couple of years back. I literally had to close down a bank account because someone stole my checking account checkbook and almost stole all my money from my checking. So I had to
That's
yeah,
Your
and
password's never safe. Yeah.
yeah, so having that second form of protection helps because like just having it like, oh, is this you getting texted to you or called to you? Like and it's not you, like, yeah, no, that's not me. Like stop that person from trying to
I had that actually
get that.
fairly recently. My credit card.
Exact yeah, like having that second form of defense helps a lot. It's frustrating. I can see for some people like I don't want to deal with that, but it'll save you in the long run just having it. Because like like what just happened with our current president of the United States, like it can screw everything over really quick if they can figure out because a lot of people also with passwords, a lot of people use the same
Yeah.
passwords on
So
everything.
I'm in my competition right now. I just cracked a majority of the password hashes I had to with one text file. Every password that's been in a data breach ever is in one file called rocku.txt, and you can just download that anywhere. So if you've ever had a password in a breach, it's in that file and it's there for somebody to use to get into whatever.
Oh, I kind of wanted to get that to you. So Connor here was gonna, or kind of I think the last two episodes, but you've been studying and actually participating in some cybersecurity
Yeah,
competitions.
so
Tell us
right
a
now
little bit
I'm
about that.
participating with my school called National Cyber League. And so if if you're in a 4-year college right now or even a community college, check with your school. If it sounds like something you're interested in, they're probably competing. But you just go down everything on the security side of tech. So it's the cool stuff to like hacking websites, cracking passwords, to the boring stuff that's still important, like analyzing logs for suspicious activity and stuff like that. But it's a pretty cool competition. Just a couple thousand people in it every year. But it's a school-based one. But there are, if you're not in school, it doesn't mean there's competitions out there for anybody. So if it's something you're interested in, you can always find something.
It is kind of cool.
It's things that like these that can be good for people to like to know that there are people out there that are able to protect us from things like that, but also like can be notorious if there are people who can do that to you.
Exactly. So
So
like this is the ethical side of it. You're doing it to learn how to protect systems. You have to know how to break stuff to fix stuff. So that's the whole point of it.
so that's why, guys, do everything you can to protect yourself, even if it's a little bit frustrating. Um, I'm trying to remember because I have I for me personally, I have like 10 like unique passwords for everything that I have, and it's annoying to try to redo everything.
Uh,
And
sorry,
everything
go on.
for oh no, it's just annoying to try to because it's all they're all like a fun trick for me is using it's a little cheating here, but way to every word. So if you have a number associated, like either anniversary or birthday, your song lyric, and using every letter from that and then moving everything. It's really it sounds annoying, but imagine trying to figure out that password then.
True.
So like I every time it asks you for a change of password, I literally change almost every single one of my passwords, and I just change the song and just use a different encryption. And it makes it somewhat easier for me. But if you have a song that has 10 lyrics, there you go. And then encrypt that and have fun.
There are
But
there's always tools like KeyPass as well though, where they'll just generate passwords for you with one account. So that's another way.
yeah, there's that's what's good is that there's companies out there who are trying to simplify. That's the best way to put it. Things like this to secure everything. But at the end of the day, all this for what everything we're talking about, it's just us to help you guys to know that please just protect yourself. There are really bad people out there trying to.
Mm-hmm. Too many.
Uh, yes. Um, let's see here. There was something that interests me because it is still 2020, and there was something that was funny that came up was that they let's see here, where the heck was it? They found a a kind of like a roaming planet out there. Where the heck did it go?
Uh, it's just roaming out there like free range. Doesn't even
Yeah,
have an orbit or anything.
which is interesting. It's like I've never really paid attention too much to as- fuck. I always get it confused. Is it astrology or astronomy?
Astronomy.
Astronomy. What's astrology?
Astrology is basically like Pisces, Leo kind of thing. Astrology, the stars, the constellations.
Okay. Okay. That always gets me just a little bit. But so astrology. So I never really paid too
Astronomy.
much astronomy. Okay. God. Calling me out on that. So the study of space, basically. So I personally never really paid too much attention just to kind of some fun facts, things like that, or anything really interesting. So it's not like I'm a science expert, but to my understanding, I always thought since everything has like a gravitational pull, like everything kind of has a circular motion. That's kind of why you see like comets always circle through space, and you'll eventually see it again, like Halley's comet. Like it'll eventually come back, just it'll just be in a circle path. So when I saw this like roaming planet, like, huh, that's pretty interesting. I kind of started like digging into it,
Yeah,
and
God.
it just you just never know what's floating out there.
We don't really know a lot about our
Space
space.
crazy, yo.
Yeah, well,
It
they're
is.
saying there's so
I wish we
many
spent.
like other. They're saying there's so many other galaxies out there that you know are either parallel or perpendicular to us, and we just don't know it yet. They're still trying to find that life out there.
They didn't a little while ago. Didn't they say there's possibly life on is it Mercury or Venus?
I
Shoot.
haven't heard that one yet. Maybe I missed it.
Yeah, there was they believe they found like pockets of liquid that could hold bacteria. So basically life in their
Oh,
thing, and
I
it was
feel like I
like
kind of heard something like this.
uh
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna try to find the article.
Didn't they say Mars had water
And
on it? No.
So Mars
uh
definitely has water underneath, and then there's one moon. I think it was. I don't remember. I'm not good with our solar system, but there's one moon for another planet that is like totally ice and water or whatever.
okay, so it was Venus. It
Okay.
is Venus. So I'm looking at it right now. So apparently they were like looking at it, and they found some of the clouds. Let's see here. Okay, so the astronomers who reported the findings on Monday. When was this? A while ago. How long ago was this? September, mid-September. Uh, where are you? Where are you? And they're just talking about Mars here.
Men are from Mars, women are from
What
Venus.
is it? Instead of apparently Venus has life on it. Mars is dead.
That seems about right.
Uh, first observation made. Okay, here it is. So, quote, this could be the first observation we made which reveals the alien biosphere. And what do you know is the closest planet to our home in the entire cosmos? Let's see here. Venus is roughly the same size as Earth. Okay, don't need that. About an asteroid that was going to hit Earth. And
When?
then, I can't remember, but it was from Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah. He was talking about it that there was gonna be an asteroid kind of the size of a fridge that was gonna hit Earth. And then the news media kind of spun it like he was trying
Oh yeah,
to
no.
make it into a 2020 N world
Oh
thing.
God.
But if you actually, yeah, like we need enough 2020 issues,
Oh
right?
God. Don't add another. Don't
Um,
add another. We got another month. We're almost out of here.
so if anyone actually read the actual article he posted, it was just saying, "Hey, there's an asteroid out there that's gonna hit Earth, and it probably won't even hit it because it's not that big, and it'll probably break
Yeah, wouldn't
down
it break down
eventually."
eventually? Because I mean,
But
it's
to
when
anyone,
it comes down to the atmosphere, it tends to warm up, and then of course it breaks apart, right?
exactly. So it's not gonna really do anything. If anything, it'll be too small to do anything at that point. But you know how the media works. Sometimes they'll just spin a tale out of control, and one media takes it, and then that media takes that media, and it's basically a game of phone call, and you just don't remember
Yeah,
what the original
basically
topic
that's what
was.
happens, right?
That's what we are. We are a jumble of mess for you guys to listen to.
That's why.
It's crazy that an article in 2020 about an asteroid hitting us just gets basically mismatched into craziness. What else can happen
Don't
this year
jinx. No,
to
I don't
cause
want
Don't
to
the
jinx
no
it,
don't
bro.
do not say that. I do
yes,
not want
do
to
it.
wish.
This is my prediction. This one asteroid that Neil deGrasse Tyson predicted will hit, but it'll be small enough to just nick, but it's
Oh
gonna
god,
nick
that's the end of everything,
the
bro.
super
That's gonna be
volcano
years
out
under the
in
ash.
Yellowstone Park to start the activation of everything. So yeah, actually, I was talking about this the
They're
other day
making
with
you
my.
breathe that air, man.
Oh, actually, I don't think we'll be able to breathe anything if that actually happens. It's been a while since I watched like videos that kind of explain what would happen if that happened. But I was talking with my brother the other day about these things because we were just joking around, things like that. Just kind of like, oh yes, it's almost the end of the 2020, but what if could happen? But if I'm remembering correctly, I think us in the West Coast would be fairly okay for like, if I'm remembering some of the videos I saw, we'll be okay for the first 8 hours when the initial eruption happens because of the way the air current works.
Hmm.
But everyone on the East Coast would like get hit with ash fairly quick. Um, but yeah, I think the estimation was from Yellowstone to like LA was roughly 8 hours, so give or take. I would say for where we're at, I think it's like 6 hours. So from the initial explosion, we would have 6 hours
Mm-hmm.
to just
Get some
prep.
sunlight,
So
because I ain't gonna see
what
it
would you
again
guys
forever.
do in those 6 hours before the sky darkened at that point?
Yeah.
Stock up on my vitamin D, then I will be fine.
it's it's crazy to think that's a possible future for us. Hopefully not in the next couple of years, but
I don't want to even think that way. I'm so
it's
exhausted from
just
COVID already.
Stuff's
I'm
gonna
like, I
happen.
really
It's
want a
out of our
break.
hands. You can only live the best life you can live. And at
no.
the
I
end of the day, if you don't wake up smiling, That's on you.
No. Me and Chris want this. We want Fallout. We want it
Fallout.
to
It's
happen.
not. It's not gonna be like Fallout.
It's gonna be a Fallout. Don't crush our dreams. I want it to be real. I want it to happen. It'll reset the
I think
world.
that's
I
why
think that's all I
COVID
need. We just
happened.
need
I
a
mean,
reset.
well, I know.
Uh,
Okay,
we
fine.
need a bigger reset than that.
We're gonna see it. We're gonna see it though. I just don't want to hear it. I don't
Because
want to be involved.
because I don't think we'll make it, because we would be in the start of the beginning of the end,
Yeah,
basically.
but there's
And
like this old Russian lady who predicted it, like the end wouldn't happen till like 2250, something like that, something crazy, like, or is it 2356 or something like that? So we are years away from that. It was
Who
this
predicted that?
yeah,
this
who predicted this?
Russian lady who predicted like this, like stuff that how it happened currently, and everything she's said so far, most of it has been accurate and to the T. So
So she's basically the modern Nostradamus
yes, but she has
slash.
already passed away. She's already gone. I think she passed away in 1956, but she left a bunch of predictions, and so far she has she was pretty predicted about the crash droppings of things and the 9/11 and presidents, and so it's been kind of interesting so far.
So the closest Nostradamus.
Mhm.
Okay, why does no one talk about her? I gotta research this lady. I'm kind of tired of Nostradamus. He was so much wrong about a lot of things. I need a new.
But he was accurate on some things. He was accurate on some things.
I need
Not
a
all
I need a new
everything.
modernized one. I need one more current, up to date, more hip. If it has to be from the 1950s, I'll take her.
Yeah, she was born in like, yeah, the late, like, I want to say 1800s, and then she was, died in like the 1900s sometime. But yeah, she was the most closest recent one, and she's like was pretty good about acting. But she didn't know a lot of the words that we would use, so she had to kind of infiltrate it. You know what I mean? Like she didn't know. She knew like metal blade bird or would like hit two buildings. Like I don't know. She didn't say buildings. She said something else. I can't remember, but she was pretty darn accurate about it. Like coming to you about it. It was Baba. I want to say Bob. I'm gonna be mutilating her name, but yeah, I thought it was pretty interesting. She's different, you know.
There was a period of time where I enjoyed the idea of
My grandma was huge into astrology. She used to do charts for
Tony's
people and
right.
stuff.
fortune
It was
telling,
pretty cool.
things like that. Most Hispanics are into that stuff, things like that. They literally they're but she was famous for just like, yes, this is your sign. This is what you have to worry about today, or this is into that. It's really interesting. But where I was doing a lot of like research into like fortune telling, like things like that, the Chinese zodiac. Um, what there is a thing for Chinese fortune telling.
Oh, like the sticks?
Yeah,
Chinese fortune cookies.
no, that's
Or
actually American. I think so. But yeah, I
I
just
know,
kind of
I'm
got
teasing.
into that for a little bit, just kind of for fun, and I just used to give people fortunes for fun. It's called the I Ching. Yeah, yeah. Like for every episode, we should do a fortune telling segment. You are fated to wear green. Just put out things like that. It's I for those who believe in it, more power to you. Like it just for me, it's a fun idea, a fun concept, but it is what it
Yep,
is.
it's just the way the world works, and it just fate. Things happen.
Have you have you guys ever dabbled in
Uh,
the realm of fortune telling and the like?
no, mostly just my grandma's astrology stuff. That's it.
no, I have never really been into it. I've always been curious about my sister, my older two siblings, mother.
Ooh.
She's palm reads, and she's apparently really good about that stuff. So I've always been curious about it. So she's been pretty accurate. Like a guy said, "Oh, you can palm read," and this is at a bar, and she's like, "Are you sure about this?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure." And he opens up his hand, and she reads, and it's like, "Oh, you lost a child recently," and he just started breaking down in tears. Like nobody's supposed to know that. Like, how do you tell that from a guy? Like,
Oh, what are there? There are some people who are mentalists. That's what they are. Mentalists that are able.
But she's not really a mentalist. She just reads the lines in your thing. She's really good at it. She's
Well,
like really darn accurate to the
true,
T. So
but there are people who are able to like to read people's body, not chemistry, body. What the heck is it called?
nerves.
No, it's when you can read just someone's body, and see how they react to things. Um, I know, phone. Uh, it just when people react to certain things, you can kind of
Body
yeah,
language.
body language. Thank you, Connor. Thank you, Connor.
I'm wrong.
Uh, yeah.
I was thinking he was looking for more like analytical things.
No. Literally read someone's body language. You can kind of then react to that and kind of use. That's kind of how. Well, there was that time when what was that TV show where that lady who could speak to dead people or something?
Sylvia Brown?
Yeah, sure, her. There's like multiple
I
people
don't
that
know.
did it.
There's a bunch of them out there. So.
Exactly. But anyways, people like that who are able to kind of like do the do the questioning and kind of read people's body language and kind of work their way around that.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, it's interesting. You never know if you can kind of guess your way to an answer. Uh, because like not doubting your aunt or something. I forget what it was, but you can if you have someone's hand, you can kind of then kind of feel the twitch or the
The
way their
pulse.
body, the pulse, or the way the palm gets sweaty or cold, and kind of just read from there. Just different ways. That's just me debunking it, but you never know. But there's also a person who spent like a good 3 years researching fortune telling for fun.
True.
But yeah. Is there anything else you guys wanted to talk about?
I don't think anything else from me.
Okay. Then I think we're gonna close it up there. We did have some technical issues. Craig, please do
Yeah,
better
Craig, you really
next
dropped
time.
the ball.
Literally.
Well, so if you listened this far and you heard some breaks, it's just because we were having a little bit of technical issues. Hopefully it won't disturb you too much from listening. But yeah, Liz, Connor, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having
Thanks for
us.
having me.
So you'll hear from us again. Maybe we'll be telling your guys' fortunes. So, until next time, everyone. See ya.
See ya.
Bye.